Only on WUSA 9 tonight, WUSA 9 is taking a rare look into the struggles of a mother whose son has repeatedly been in and out of the D.C. juvenile justice system.
She tells us her family is caught up in a catch and release cycle that isn't helping her son get any better. Has this troubled teen fallen through the cracks, as his mom says?
Our chief investigative reporter Eric Flack is in search of answers tonight.
It was the last straw. This is a Nest camera video of a D.C. woman's then 14-year-old son allegedly burglarizing the family's home on December 13th, 2023, leaving behind that brick he allegedly used to smash his mom's locked window.
I see those pictures up there. I see that incredible smile. Who is that kid?
That is the son that I know and remember. Sorry. Yeah, that's who I know.
His photos still hang on the wall, back when he was just a little boy, when her oldest son was still himself. We're not identifying the family because he's a minor.
How hard have you tried?
Excessively at this point, between even just at home, trying to work one-on-one with him, going through therapy, courts, trying to get assistance just any way that I can.
The mother shared the details of her son's case through 2 court-ordered evaluations, emails she wrote to the judge and attorneys in his dozens of court appearances, as well as her own notes, providing all of it to WUSA 9 in a desperate plea for help.
And I wonder what point a mom has to get to speak publicly like this.
Kind of feeling backed in a corner or against the wall, not really having the support that I've been seeking.
You worried about him?
Very much so.
Her son's criminal behavior began when he was charged with first-degree theft and simple assault for an incident at a D.C. metro station last June. Since then, the teen has had at least 8 different custody orders for violating the terms of his release, repeatedly running away from home or youth shelter house, which is a monitored group home for teens awaiting trial. As a teen with a first offense, he was only rarely held at Youth Services Center, a lockdown facility for juvenile offenders.
That's been the dynamic from June to date, like literally every month, every time.
On November 28th of last year, a recommendation from the second of those 2 court-ordered evaluations was delivered to the court. It diagnosed the teen with disruptive mood dysregulation disorder and said, due to the teen's lack of responsiveness to less restrictive environments, it is recommended that he be placed in a psychiatric residential treatment facility with a strong behavioral and trauma focus.
But these evaluations typically aren't considered by the judge until sentencing. So when that teen had another custody order hearing that same day, this report did not factor into her decision. She sent him back to youth shelter house. He ran away 12 days later.
And it was just 3 days after that, Mom says her son broke into his family's home, once again breaking her heart and the heart of his 10-year-old brother, too.
It's been hard. He's had trouble sleeping. He gets really sad at times. There's times where he even blamed himself for his brother not being here. Sorry.
The teen was arrested again January 1st, this time by Arlington police for stealing a jacket with a wallet in the pocket right off another teenager's back at the Pentagon City food court. Mom says Arlington held her son, who had just turned 15, for about 30 days, then transferred him back to the D.C. juvenile justice system. He is now once again at Youth Services Center, that secure lockdown facility. Wednesday, Mom will be back in court for another of her son's court hearings. She hopes the judge will finally send him for that psychiatric residential treatment recommended to the court.
Honestly, one of my biggest fears is getting a phone call that something's happened to him, or him getting in trouble for something where there's no turning back from.
Change the course of his life.
Yeah.
Forever.
Absolutely.
And guys, the court has given us special permission to be at that hearing tomorrow, so we'll let you know what happens.
Okay. I mean, you just feel the angst in her voice. Yeah. I mean, we're parents. I can't even imagine. And anecdotally, we've heard stories like this from parents who say they've tried to get through to get support for their
Yeah,
children
yeah.
through
Yep.
the Juvenile Justice Service, and it's not doing anything to get their kids back on track.
Yeah, so clearly this is a complex issue. Who's at fault here? How do we fix it?
You know, I've reported this story for 2 weeks. I've had background conversations with the courts, with the city, with the Office of the Attorney General. Everybody does this.
Yeah.
Everybody does this. The courts say, but DYRS is underfunded by the city, and they're not doing their job. You know, the city says the judges and the prosecutors aren't holding these kids accountable. And in the meantime, nobody's working together.
DYRS says they're at capacity.
They're
at
at capacity. And then you just got moms like this trying to pick up the pieces and just hoping something changes.
Wow.
Hopefully it will, after shedding some light on it tonight.
Absolutely. We can only hope
Yeah.
that this helps her son and other children too.
And so brave to speak out like this.
Absolutely. Black, thank you.
You got it.